there, it's Dr. Boca. This one's for anyone downsizing after decades in one home. You think it's going to be simple, right? And then you open a closet and realize you've been quietly storing an entire emotional timeline. STG Concierge Moving and Organizing specializes in full home packing for real transitions like these, whether it's downsizing, assisted living, or even moving out of state. They don't rush you, and they don't judge why you've kept every school project your kids have ever made. They plan the process, pack thoughtfully, and keep everything organized so you're not emotionally processing and labeling boxes all at the same time. If this move represents a new chapter, and maybe even a tender one, you don't have to white knuckle it. Go to www.stgconcierge.com and see what supported downsizing actually looks like. It's very different from doing it all alone.
What do you get when the audacious and the therapist collide? A crash course in unpolished therapy. Rachel Silver-Cohen and Dr. Boca aren't afraid to spin out of control, tackling all the tough talk. Their weekly sesh meets at the corner of audacity and advice, where their wheels and yours get turned upside down.
Good morning, Dr. Boca.
Good morning, Rach. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I don't know how I'm doing actually. I am. No, it's you've been here. You know what this is like. This is the time where end of school. I have a graduation, but before graduation was like the month of my mini-me. It was, bed party and getting through. Well, first it was, I guess, accepting college. Then it was bed party. Then it was prom. Now it's graduation and college orientation. And oh my gosh, like we're going to be leaving the nest soon and all of that. And it's a lot in the best of ways and in the craziest of ways and in the saddest of ways. And it's just a lot. Yeah. So I know
I'm
you
like
know. I know.
Because I'm like, welcome, but I don't even know that welcome is the right word, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, or please join me. Thank goodness you finally caught up. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I want to learn, I want to use some of the tools you've given me over the many times we have ditched the couch and grabbed the mics to break down all the wreckage. So today's wreckage obviously is the unpolishedness of all this pomp and circumstance, I suppose.
Yeah, totally.
But I want to be empathetic because I hear you, and I could say I raised you only because been there, done that, doing it again along with you. So
I know.
Can we pool our chips?
And that's what, like I want to know, okay, you're the pro now. I want to know all the tips and all the tricks of the trade. And also understand that everybody's experience is a little bit different and we're crossing genders here, which makes it very expensive on my end. Not that it's not expensive on yours, but and thinking you know what you're supposed to know and do, and then finding out like at the 11th hour, oh my God, you forgot this, Mom. And you're like, okay. So yes, we should pool. And also, I think some of our listeners are probably saying, yeah, it is a little bit different. The first time around, the second time around, a girl versus a boy, staying local versus going away, like whatever that everybody's experience, although the same, is also different.
So yes to all of it, number one. Number two, in terms of I've been there and I'm the pro, I'm here to tell you in no uncertain terms, but only unpolished terms, I am not a pro. I know nothing. And it's almost like with childbirth, you forget, which is why you do it again. Because if you remembered, you probably wouldn't do it, right?
Mm-hmm, totally.
With that being said, I strongly believe that you get what you can handle. And clearly you can handle more. I would not be able to handle this if I had girls. So my hat does go off to you in the sense that I can't even relate to what must be happening in terms of every detail. For me, the devil I know is better than the devil I don't know. And it's still pretty devilish over here. So I just want to tip my hat and be as humble and empathetic as I can. And you have a great daughter. So
I have a fabulous daughter. Let's put that out there, that please hear that I am in no way complaining. I have a fabulous daughter whose strength is creativity and whose strength is planning. And so a lot of responsibility has fallen on her amongst her friend group in the best of ways because she enjoys doing it, right? So when she didn't really know about all that was going into the bed party, all this pressure fell on me, so that I was like, oh my God, I need my daughter to plan this for me. I need her to be taking over because she's so good at it. However, she likes it to be all bells, whistles, and details, which I appreciate until I have to pay for it, right? So, but it's a lot. It's, it's in isolation. They're all meaningful. They're all exciting. They're all, emotional. In totality. I'm exhausted. It's been like a month of exhaustion. And I've learned so much, and I have so many gripes about some of this stupidness of some of the things.
For the purposes of the listeners, let's back it up. If there is anyone who, and I can't imagine this to be true at this stage of the game and our audience base, but if there's anyone that's like, wait, a bed party, what are you even talking about? Maybe we should remind the listeners, a couple years ago when we talked about this, what the hell is a bed party? That was like the new thing. And now it's sort of like, oh, right, your bed party. So do you want to indulge us here and remind at least where we are now in 2026, what does a bed party entail for the graduating high school class of 2026? Or identify as female, I guess. I don't know, one boy.
I do know one. I know one boy who had it done. I do. Okay. Yes.
Fair enough. We live and learn.
Great. He loved it, and it was fabulous. But newsflash, we are on the cusp of bed parties going out and table parties coming in. So it was like a split between, some people did it on the bed and some people did it in the living room on the table. Okay. But what conceptually it is once your child figures out where they're going to school and commits, it is, whether it's a surprise or not a surprise, depends on your child and you and all of that stuff. But it is a celebration where whoever's planning it decorates the entire area, whether it's a room, a bed, whatever, with the colors of the school, with paraphernalia from the school, with anything that could be the colors of it. So for instance, let's take a blue and orange. We did a Care Bear that was blue and orange and threw that on the bed, right? You could get potato chips that are in a blue bag. You can do any of that, or you can do the school sweatshirts, t-shirts, short shoes, cake,
all the schmatas,
everything you could imagine that they will never wear once, not once, once. And then, there's balloons everywhere, and then you have the cupcakes and the cake and the da-da-da-da-da. And then what happens is, my daughter was one of the first to have her bed party strategically, because then we had nothing to compare it to. And also we got it done before everybody knew where they were going, so we could still get the stuff that I could buy. So what would happen then is everybody's looking to you like you're the pro. Like, you did such a great job, now you can help me do it. And so they're texting you, where did you get this? Can you send me the link for this? So your bed party's not actually over. You're now facilitating other people, and now you feel like, oh, I'm a pro at this. And so we wound up lending stuff to people because people started to catch on. And that's where I'm like, wait, I didn't get the memo that if I do it at the tail end, I could borrow everybody's paraphernalia, which would save me thousands and thousands of dollars of stuff that she's never going to use.
Okay.
So
amongst many other reasons why I do feel grateful that I have boys, I have to tell you that it sounds horrifying and it seems like the biggest waste. And I don't want to be such like a naysayer because look, if you can't beat them, join them. And I guess in today's world, if this is like the thing that people do, I guess it would be tough to be the people that don't do it. I ask you though to take your mom hat off and put your Dr. Boca hat on, in the sense that I'm just, for argument's sake and for the sake of living in a world where we are trying to teach our kids that comparison is the nemesis of joy, right? And the last thing we want to do is try to keep up. And certainly this ritual seems absurd, but nonetheless, it is what it is. From a psychological standpoint, and again, this isn't real therapy, we want to protect your license, but let's just say we want to try to educate our listeners that how do we kind of streamline this and keep it in check, that at the end of the day, the fact that our kids are actually having the milestone of graduating high school and moving on, that it seems as though like we're burying the lead here because we're too busy burying the bed with junk food and streamers. So how do we back up and just keep our eye on the prize of wanting to celebrate something that really is a beautiful milestone and it matters, but hold on, everyone. I think we're going overboard here. How do you convey that in an intelligent way without being a party pooper?
Well, listen, I think that could be on every topic of everything in an environment like this. It's very difficult. We've talked about parenting in this day and age with social media and seeing what the realities are of people around you, right? So listen, I would love to say to my daughter, hey, we're not going to do this, and let's take the money and donate it to a charity. And that would have been very noble and very humble. And I'm sure that there are people that do that. And I wish I could have been that parent to do that.
But hold on, I'm gonna call you out on something. And I love that's where you were going. But like, how about, and love charities, nothing against, but how about just for the thousands?
Give it to her.
How about just like either for her education or for when we decorate your dorm room that you're actually going to be living in, but for thousands of dollars for a 2-hour to do with chips and bagels and cakes and whatever that no one's even eating anyway. It just seems like such a gluttonous, unpolished waste.
It is. And I think in hindsight, the way that I would have strategized it is pick 5 or 10 of your friends. And if you want to do like a little decoration of your bed and take pictures, have at it. We didn't do that, but we did make it her graduation party. So we are not having both of those. And so that was kind of our compromise into, this is getting ridiculous. This is getting overly expensive. And there's just no reason to have people coming to your house 6 weeks later to celebrate that.
So could we argue then that, or agree, I should say, that maybe in today's world, the bed party, the table party, the house party, the in the backyard, because I don't want 1 million people in the house, so we're going to do it in the backyard party.
Of course.
Could that be in lieu of after the graduation, after the real pomp and circumstance, that essentially is the party before the graduation? Maybe
and that's what we did. That's what we did. Now, I know people do both, and that's fine if that's what they choose to do. And maybe they make it a smaller bed situation or a table situation, and then have the adults come for the big, grand finale, so to speak. Everybody has to kind of figure out what works for them. But I am hoping that having done it, I think that it's overkill. And I think that you don't know it until you go through it. And if I had another daughter and they'd asked for a bed party, I would have tried to rein it in, or even convince them, hey, I'll give you the money toward, like you said, the dorm, or towards, a trip or something more experiential that they might appreciate a little bit more. I do think it's a lot, and it's a lot of stuff that we don't need. Right. We were fortunate that where she's going, we have a lot of the materials, so we were able to supplement with some of the stuff that we already had. And the thing also, if I don't know if I think I did say this, is that the friends are supposed to be bringing the paraphernalia, right? So it's not all coming out of our our
Mm-hmm.
pockets. And that was originally the thought process behind it. But, everything kind of grows and grows and grows and takes on a life of its
Yeah.
own. So,
Yeah.
listen, she was thrilled. She got her beautiful pictures.
Mhm.
And it was nice to have all of the people that we care most about all there
Mhm.
celebrating her accomplishment.
Right.
And we're good. We're good.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So then you ready? Bed party check.
Check.
And you
I'm
got
done.
through it and she was happy. And I guess at the end of the day, right? Happy kids, happy moms, quieter house. And now we move on to the next big thing, right?
Okay. But with everything
Hmm.
comes an upward battle. So I'll give you this. We
Okay.
had a situation where she would have ideally liked it to be a surprise.
Uh-huh.
However, there was only 2 weekends that worked amongst the 3 girls that were helping us prep this.
Hmm.
And um, it came down to it has to be this one weekend. And my daughter found out about it within I mean, wildfire within 3 minutes. And she called me and said, "You have to change it." And I said, I can't change it. Like, this is literally you have to change it. I want to be surprised. And so, in that battle of trying to say, would you be grateful for the fact that we're doing this? And she did step it back. But that upward moment, this is where this is supposed to be this incredibly monumentous thing that's supposed to be so special. I panicked and I was about to try to rearrange the whole thing in order to accommodate that request. And
Hmm.
then it took me a few minutes and a little bit of talking off the ledge to say, you know what? No, like, we're doing this. This is how it is. It's this or nothing. Like, that's it. I can't do it. But I know what that feels like to want to make this so special and do it the way that they want. You don't want them to be disappointed in this joy. And then I'm like, wait, time out. Take the mother hat off, be the therapist here and say, you know what? You're having a beautiful party. So go with it.
Yeah.
It's okay that it's not a surprise. You could be disappointed. So
It's hard, it's hard when you wear dueling hats. I do not envy you. I don't know that I could do it as gracefully. Outwardly gracefully. I'm sure inside, your brain was going bananas, as mine would be too. It would be all over the place. But you
absolutely.
got through it.
We
So
did.
again, we're going to check mark off that we succeeded at bed party and all's well that ends well. What's going through my mind a little bit as you're telling the story is I am amazed at really how time moves. And some may
Yeah.
argue that it moves quickly, some may say that it moves slowly, but I I am really fascinated with how quickly what we thought would move slowly has moved, because
Yep.
we did have a conversation a couple years ago when my
Yes,
oldest
we
son was
did.
graduating, and I can remember to some degree that while you were kind of coaching me through, you weren't in it with me.
Right.
You were really the Dr. Boca. And now
Yeah.
here we are that you are the mommy also, as my younger one is the same age as your
Yeah.
older one. And I'm
Yeah.
now going through it with you again. And I am sort of analyzing where my head was the first time and where it is now. And while I know the steps involved,
Mm-hmm.
it it doesn't take away from the emotion. And if anything, I think this time around, because this is the last time
Yeah,
around,
I was going to say that's a whole new entity.
well, I'm trying to clock the fact that I'm pretty sure last time I was downplaying the whole conversation about those who potentially were going to be empty nesters, because
Yeah.
in my unpolished mind, I was like, oh, yeah, we're never going to get there. And I'm not that. And gee, that must be tough. And like, I was talking outside of the realm of feeling it and just sort of
Right.
like, do as I say, not as I do. And now I'm in my own kind of unpolished spiral of holy
Oh
cow,
my
like
God.
look at
Yeah.
me, here I am. And I'm going to be that. I'm going to be that proverbial empty nester. And in the spirit of just trying to have a positive twist on what it means as a mom, okay,
Mhm.
to see your kids off, I want to give a little bit of a shout out. My sister-in-law, who's also a psychologist, she mentioned to me years ago, before I really was a true empty nester, she's like, it has such a negative connotation to it. She's like, I like to put the reframe on it as a bird launcher.
Yeah,
And I
I
thought
love
that
it.
was such a really, it's sort of like, how do you say anything other than, aw, when you
Yeah.
hear that? Because a
Yep.
bird launcher versus an empty nester, it's just,
Right.
there's no debate, right?
No, there's no debate. That's like so beautiful. And that's what I was going to say to you, not even knowing that she said this.
Mhm.
We don't ever stop and sit here and say, oh my God, look what we've accomplished. And we're putting out into this world these amazing kids who are so super excited and are going to change the world, or for the good, for the better, whatever they're going to do with it. The world is their oyster now. And we did this with them, right?
Mm,
We created these humans. Like, how amazing. We don't focus on that. We focus
mm,
on what's left is nothing. Like, we got
mm.
nothing back here. Like, it's empty. And that's so sad, because this was a labor of love, and a real labor of love to get our children here. And
Mhm.
we never kind of like give ourselves the credit or even celebrate the success of the kids going.
Well, you're right. And I think if we can acknowledge, like, this is a vulnerable comment I'm going to say now, in my kind of self reflection on where we're at, I recognize kind of two cogs in the wheel here. And we can go in two different directions. And we could probably talk about this till we're blue in the face. And we can probably also get on the real couch to unpack it. So take it for what it's worth, and we can dive as deep as you want or not. But I look at it now, second time around, from two vantage points. One is, oh my God, you want your kids to be successful and thrive. And now you think you've given them the tools to do just that. And let's see how they do. And also, oh my God, did I do enough as a parent?
Hmm.
That do they have those tools? And then the self judgment. I'm not talking about anyone else. This is just a
Sure.
personal thing, that if they don't do great or up to
Hmm.
snuff, does that mean it's a reflection on the parenting? That's part one, which, I mean, the rest of our lives we could unpack part one. Part
Right.
two, as a mother, okay, in my case, single mom, so to speak,
Hmm.
it the real societal scenario of, oh my God, I've raised these kids for 18 years, right? I've pushed and pulled. I don't want to use the phrase I've given up one thing
Hmm.
for something else, but we've made a choice that the priority, the job per se, has been to
Hmm.
raise these kids. And now it's like, holy shit, right?
Yeah.
Now what do I do? I'm like sucking my thumb, rocking in the corner. Yes, I have a job. Yes, we have our passion project. Yes, I try to be a
Yes.
good community leader and somewhat important in the own, zeitgeist of my own head. But
Sure.
is that
Oh my
enough?
God.
And now what?
Hmm.
And oh my unpolished God. So help
Yes.
me unravel that, or at least join me in the conundrum.
I'm in the conundrum with you, right? And
Mhm,
the only thing I can say right now is they have been successful every step of the way. So we know that we have instilled something in them,
mhm,
right? But part of the journey for them is, like, you can lead a horse to water, right? But I can't, no matter what I do, make them drink that water. So
mhm,
at some point, it's no longer a reflection of me. They've developed their personhood, and the choices that they make are up to them, right? I
mhm,
will be
mhm,
there to support them. I will be there to guide them. I will be there to hold their hand if that is what they are asking for.
mhm,
But I have the confidence to say, okay, this is the end of the journey of which I could have controlled, and that's such a false sense of anything. It's like, I remember when they left preschool, and this feeling that I had inside of me was, oh my God, they're going into the big bad world. The big bad world. Like in preschool, I could snuggle with them and shield them, but the big bad world of elementary school, kindergarten, right?
Kindergarten. Oh my God. Brace yourself.
Right. But to me, that was the last time that I was going to, which was not true. They went through elementary school and I was able to shelter them. And at some point, though, all of that love and all of that, those teachings and all of the moments of joy and all the setbacks, all of that shapes them into, this is your toolbox. You are loved and you always have a home base. But now the job description is, you have to go and make those choices. And you have all the tools. Pick which one you want to use, and it may be the right one, may not be. Who's to say what's right and not, if that's what you want to do? And that's how I come at it. So not to sit here and say, I don't have anxieties about the choices that they're going to make, right? But again, those are their choices to make, just like we were given the opportunity to make mistakes or to try out new things or to find our way, even if it wasn't the way that our parents might have wanted for us. Doesn't make them bad parents, doesn't make us bad kids, right? That's what life is about. And I think for people who have that false notion that we can control other people, and who are wanting to take all that responsibility on, that this is like, I'm responsible for all of that. This is hard. This is really relinquishing that control and having faith, like really having faith that all these 18 years were not for nothing. And in, like I said, in the good times and the bad, they've developed into this person. And part of it's going to be luck, that they are kept safe and they don't do anything stupid, and that nobody's out to hurt them, et cetera, et cetera. And part of it is trusting that they will figure it out. You know,
well, and you're right on all of it. And I was smirking a little bit because I get it on paper. It's like, you have your tools and you know what to do, and we've taught you well, and go out there and be part of society. And in my head, I'm laughing because it happened with the first time, and I already know it's happening with the second one, that even just like the morning of graduation, of getting that gown on and putting on the cap, and the argument over, and I even have boys, okay, I can imagine when I was with the girl with the hair, but like, put on the cap straight, and no, don't leave it off, and it's got to be on, and the tassel goes on the side, and don't touch it, and just it launches me back into the memories, all the years of memories, as we started this podcast with, did time move quickly, or are we so amazed at how quickly the days seem? Yeah, the days are long, but the years fly by, or something like that. And I can imagine all of the times, whether it was a ski trip and the arguments over like trying to get them in the ski boot, or when it's hot outside and you have to put sunblock on and drink water, or you can't go into the pool until you digested your food. It's like you have all of these flash memories of the milestones as they've propelled through life. And my guess too is, as quick as they're now graduating high school, in a blink of an eye, the older one graduates, hopefully college, and then the second one comes down the pike, and then there's more beautiful things. And you know, you only want and hope that when you go to sleep at night, that your kids are safe, they're making smart choices, and that they're happy. And
we can't control that anyway. We think we can. We think that we could have done something if we were there. We can't, right? And if we do, if we were to believe that we could literally like live in the dorm with them and, and protect them from every aspect of
I
everything.
don't want to live in the dorm with them. I love them. I want them safe. I want them happy. I want them
I want you
fulfilled.
that happy
I
that
do
I have
not
to
want to be their
sacrifice
roommate in the
myself.
dorm.
Right? There are people that like are having a hard time letting go. Like you think you can control them, you can't. And what a disservice. You talk about, did I do a mistake as a parent? If you don't allow them
Mhm.
to experience life and to take the chance or the risk, and listen, they may make a mistake, and it could be, we've talked about on that episode with the fentanyl, that is my biggest fear in the world. One decision could end their life. Like if I stop and think about that, I could literally stop breathing.
Yeah.
Okay, but I have to just have faith. I have to
Yeah.
have faith that I've said it to them, they know, and I'm a believer,
Yeah.
right? And so, listen, who knows? I can't predict the future. I can live today, and I'm
Mhm.
going to make sure that I am always here for my kids to the best that I can be, but I need them to go and be themselves, not be who they think they need to be for me.
Here's a prediction I'm going to ask you. How do you think you're going to feel
Oh,
when
terrible.
you're at graduation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the kids now start to come out in their procession and they're doing the march, and Pomp and Circumstance blares
It's
now on the
playing.
loudspeaker.
Oh.
How are you going to feel? You answer first and then I will go. But I'm dying to know, the Dr. Boca, who's always has it together, how do you think you're going to feel?
So my initial feeling is it's going to be surreal, and I'm going to feel a wave of emotion that is contradictory, because there's
Okay.
going to be this real pride, and then there's also going to be this sadness that she's leaving, and that my little baby girl is now like done with the arduous 18 years of being out in the big bad world, right? And excitement for her. I'm
Mhm.
so excited for her. And then the unpolished part of me is going to say, oh my God, move the hair so that the picture looks good. Right? Like move the hair,
Well,
walk.
you could even see her in the wave of the hundreds of kids in her graduating class.
Well, in all fairness, she will be on stage and has a part in it. So I will definitely get to see, like,
Okay.
is she going to talk slow enough?
Mhm.
But again, I'm so super proud of her. And I think that's going to be this overwhelming thing. And there's just going to be a sadness for me that I'm going to go home in a couple of weeks, and those days that I took for granted are no longer.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll have to
And
compare
you?
notes thereafter. I'm curious to see if how I think I'm going to be is how I'm going to be being the second time around.
Right.
For me, it could be a complete stranger's graduation. Okay, a complete stranger. But the second I hear the music, it's that, as the kids say, a trigger, whatever.
Right.
It's the music, right? There's
Yep.
always songs that we hear that bring us right back to
Yep.
a moment or a time in our life that
Yep.
that evokes an emotion. And for me,
Sure.
when I hear Pomp and Circumstance, again, it could be a mass murderer who's graduating. If that song comes on, I am now just a bucket of tears and I
Yeah.
lose my shit. That all being said, sometimes again, when all the pre-planning or all the emotion about it ahead of time to hedge how you're going to be as a shield of protection, none of that even works. In a
Right.
way, I feel like it's cathartic for me to emote. My kids know that. I cry when
Right.
the wind blows. And I cannot imagine that I will not be emotional. It's just the song, it's what it represents, it's the moment,
It's the last.
it's the last, yes.
Mhm.
And yeah, I mean that in and of itself evokes an emotion, right? I will not be
Mhm.
doing this again. Well, for
College, but
high school,
yes, for high
college is
school.
another, right? And where this is your oldest, and oh my God, and this was my firstborn. This is my baby. oh
I
my God,
know.
this
I
kid, I'm looking
know.
at the cap and gown that came home from school the other day after
Uh,
checkout, and I'm like, holy cow, like they're letting you graduate, okay? With all due respect, like, oh my God, this is really happening. What just happened?
okay.
And I want to marvel in it. I am so proud of this kid for reasons that are so different than
I
the first time
understand.
around.
Yeah.
I'm
And
going to be
listen,
sobbing like a baby.
that's what makes it so special is each of these kids are so different, right?
Mhm.
I also think that there's a part of me that is I feel like there's been such a lead up with the girl, right? There's such a
Yeah.
lead up that this
Mhm.
has been the longest month and a half of our, or at least my life, right? And so I think that there's going to be like a, oh, we made it, but for a different reason than you made it. It's like we had to do, I mean, I can't even get into prom, right? What we went through with prom just to get to figure out which dress and thousands of dollars of ordering dresses online and showcasing them and trying them on. And then we find one. And oh, for our listeners, I just need some validation. I need validation. I don't even know if I told you this, Rachel.
What?
Okay. I'm mortified by this and so angry that I was taken advantage of. Her dress was stunning, stunning, and it was not a fortune. I was so proud of her. You know, some people are spending $600, $700, $800 on her dress. Like, no, we did great on the dress. It's a dress she can wear again, like super score from me. Okay. When I tell you that her alterations, why don't you
Mm.
guess what her alterations
Well,
cost?
I know a thing or two about how expensive the alterations are. In some cases, more than what the actual piece of garment even is. So I'm assuming that you got ganked on the alteration if you were able to catch a great deal on the dress. You can't have it both
Oh,
ways, Dr.
uh,
Boca.
okay. But I would have done the amount of the dress.
Mhm.
I would have lived with that. And we're talking still a very significant amount of money, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
It was double the amount
Yeah.
of the dress. And everyone's going to be like, oh, but she must have had so many alterations done. Oh, no, no, nay, nay. We took in a zipper
Mhm.
and we shortened the dress.
Right.
We foregoed, whichever, the tightening of the neck,
Okay.
okay,
Uh-huh.
or putting a bodice in because it was a heavy dress on her neck.
Uh-huh.
We
Okay.
forewent that,
Okay.
okay? It was taking it in by removing the zipper and replacing the zipper
Right.
and shortening the dress. And
Right.
that was 2 times the
Yeah.
price of the dress. I wanted to die. I was like, they are raking me over the coals. But of
Yeah.
course, we didn't have a choice. And this is
Uh-huh.
what I mean by everything's happening and you're going
Okay.
uphill because she was leaving the next day for her senior trip to the Bahamas. And so if
Oh,
it didn't get
there's
done,
my violin, okay? I mean, what a
okay,
life.
right? Um, you know how it is. But
Mhm,
oh my gosh, so much going on. Waited to the last second because wasn't sure which dress wanted,
mhm,
decided on
mhm.
this dress. We weren't rushing the alteration. So all the listeners who are sitting here going, oh, well, that's why, because you rushed it. No, no, did not rush it. But we wanted it there before she left
Mm,
so that when she
mhm,
got back, the alterations would be almost done, which was still 2.5 weeks before.
mm,
So
mhm.
they took such advantage of us. And
Yeah,
I know I was not the only one because we
yeah.
bumped into other people at the place that I always go to. I was appalled by the whole thing. So we had to
Well,
get through that.
yeah. I'm wondering, just as an aside, that I assume if she looked magnificent, then maybe it was all worth it and all's well that ends well. But maybe in the future, maybe we're shopping around a new tailor. I don't know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But again, it was one of those things where we waited till we
Mhm,
did not wait till the
mhm,
last
mhm.
second, but we waited till the last second and shame on us, right?
If it makes you feel any better, again, men and women, boys and girls are different, but I will tell you just in good company, I, being as control freak, anal retentive as I admit to being, I took my kid to get his tuxedo for the prom way before we needed to. Because for me, I'm paying for it. I want to check it off the list. We're going to do it on my
Sure.
timeline. I got a lot of, oh, we don't have to do it now. We'll do it tomorrow. We'll do it next week.
Yep.
We'll do it. No. We're doing it now. Get in the car or I'll meet you there, whatever. This is the day we're doing it. End of story. Fine. We do it, whatever. Great. Now, when it's time to pick it up, when it's ready, the day or two before the prom, we get the notification. And I said to my son, go pick it up now, because if something's not right, you'll have the time for the, no, it'll be fine. Go pick it up now, because if something's not right, you'll have the time. No. Go pick it up. What part of go pick it up now do you not understand?
Exactly.
But I was right, because had he not picked it up on time, he got a jacket that, you know, we call him like a gentle giant. He's a big kid and whatnot. But the jacket was 3 times smaller than it was supposed to be. It would have absolutely looked horrendous. It wouldn't have worked. He would have ripped the whole thing had he not gone when I told him to go to just checks and balances, cross it off the list. What is, and God forbid, had he gone when I told him to go and everything was okay, what would have been wrong with that either? So you got it done ahead of time. Now it's hanging beautifully in the closet.
You don't have to think about it.
You don't have to think about it.
Right. And so to that point, we had to get the graduation dress altered. Okay. So learn the lesson, take it early, take it someplace else, all good. And graduation will be at the end of the week. And I said to her at the beginning of the week, we got notification that your dress is done. She goes, okay, I'll get it later in the week. I said, I think you might want to get it now, just in case. She's like, no, I'll get it another day. So that day she comes home, she goes, I'm like, did you get your dress? She goes, no. Okay. I'm like, tomorrow, please. So turns out she got it yesterday and she comes into the house wearing the dress. Like she left the alterations wearing the dress. She goes, Mom, we have a problem. They didn't take it in enough and like I'm falling out of the dress. I go, okay, march back over there and tell them that you need this in a day's time now, because they did not do what they had said they were going to do. And she's like, will they do it? I'm like, go take it. But this is why we picked it up early. So she went and got it and they fixed it and she was able to do her pictures, because that is another thing that you probably don't deal with, but they bedazzled, their caps. But no, to our listeners, they are not able to wear these bedazzled caps to actual graduation. So they bedazzled a totally other hat and spent, when I tell you, hours and money later. They are gorgeous. All of these beautiful symbols from the school, like what, I don't know what that word is, not symbol,
like
but
gibbets, like remember when the kids were little, they would put it on their Crocs.
Yes,
like
but no, I meant like the logo of the school. They took the logo of the school and bejeweled that or bedazzled that onto their, but the amount of precision and time it takes to get each rhinestone in the right place, gorgeous, right? So they went today to go take pictures. And I'm sitting here going, okay, we're taking more pictures, but okay, great. I'll get her in her cap and gown. I'll get her in this beautiful bejeweled thing. She had the dress. It fit her perfectly. God's laughing because it is torrentially pouring on them. I feel horrible. But I get that emergency phone call. Mom, we have a problem. What do you mean you have a problem? I can't take pictures because they gave me a gown that is for somebody who's 5'10". So my daughter, thank goodness, had these pictures that her and her friends developed to do, because she had to leave the pictures to go to the place where they distribute the gowns, because otherwise she would have arrived at graduation in a gown that was too long for her.
I have a question for you. Stupid question, albeit, but I'm going to ask it anyway. So I understand the prom dresses and it's got to be perfect and all that. But when it comes to the graduation dress, like they're wearing a gown that doesn't fit them, even if she was 5'10" and it quote unquote fit. Like, why does it really matter? I mean, are the pictures such a big deal that they take the pictures out of the gown? I mean, out of like,
Yes.
why is
Yes.
that such a thing?
Well, two reasons.
Okay.
One, she needed it for graduation because the second that they finish graduation walking across the stage, they have to
Yeah.
strip out of their gown. So,
Right.
So
Okay.
they're going to want to take some pictures just with family
Okay.
and friends.
All right. So their graduation outfit, like they
Right, their
needed
outfit. Yeah.
Okay.
They needed a dress, and apparently you have to wear white. That's
Oh, I
like
didn't know that. Oh,
that's
the
what the
girls
girl
have to wear white?
I don't know if that's a school rule or if
Oh,
that's the girls' rule, but they
oh,
all
okay.
have to wear white. Okay. So they're
I
all
didn't
in
know.
white
Okay.
dresses.
Okay.
So we need it because they're not going to have the cap and gown at the end. So
Okay.
they're going to need something to wear.
Right.
And B, some of the pictures that they took today are without cap and gown.
Okay.
It's in their
Got it.
dresses with those strings, cords
Yeah, with the
that they
cords.
have,
Yeah.
right? With the
Yeah.
the
Okay.
like the decorated
Yeah.
little thing. So
So
it's
it's
both of
all
those.
for the
Social
memorabilia
media.
and to memorialize the moment and
For
to
social
just
media.
have for their own. Well, yeah, I would
For social
imagine that.
media.
Yeah.
That's what it's for. It's for social
To
media. And
time
by the way,
capsule it out for social media.
correct. And by the way, for our listeners who have been through all of this, that is also what the bed party is for.
No, it's a big, brave, beautiful, and scary world out there, and I can only tip my hat to everyone, parent and child alike, who is going through a beautiful milestone and a real memory making moment, and we want it to go beautifully. And I will say, as the non-therapist in the room, though, be mindful that the best laid plans, right?
Always.
Her hair could be beautiful, the dress could be precise, the heels could be absolutely perfect, and it'll be
It
pouring rain
pours.
as they park the car and go into the graduation
Absolutely.
center. So just again, we want to congratulate everyone, and we want everyone to have the time of their lives, and whether it's raining or it's sunny out or whatnot. But I also want to be mindful too in this episode that today you were equal parts therapist and mommy, right? That it's not real
Yeah.
therapy. We want to protect your license. And we also want to just have that human side to us, that you don't always have to be the doctor in the room to have it together. And as a mom who never really has it together, I would tell you to feel your feels and enjoy the moment and beam with pride and celebrate the ups and the downs and everything in between that you've had for the last 18 years, because it really, really is a beautiful moment, absent of all the social media nonsense. And if the dress fits, and if the shoes this, and if the gown, blah, 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 because
We will
at the end of
laugh
the day,
someday. Yeah,
yeah.
we'll laugh. We'll look back on this and laugh. And Rach, I know a lot of it was spent on the thrill of having a daughter going through this, but please know that I am so acutely aware of this being a milestone for
Yeah,
your son and also for you.
of
And
course.
you're entering into a whole new world as well. And we are all here for you, our listeners and
Yeah.
me, and just knowing that each stage brings with it the ups and the downs, the goods, the bads, and all the feelings in between. And I hope that there is a moment where you can look back on it and beam with pride, because I know your boys and they
Yeah.
are wonderful, wonderful kids. And that doesn't happen by accident.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. And I do think that the topic of what just happened and what happens now relative to being the quasi empty nester slash bird launcher is a topic big enough and relevant enough that we will take time in another episode to kind of parse out and break down that wreckage because
it's
big
wreckage.
ass wreckage. For
Yeah.
now, I love that we're really just marveling in the conundrum, but the excitement of the hysterics, if you will,
Yeah.
of proms and bed parties or table parties and graduation and boys and girls and just them living their best lives and how amazing
It's
it is.
exciting.
And as parents that we've been able to give them that opportunity to have lived their best life and God willing, continue to get better and
God
better
willing.
and better. And I
Yeah.
don't know if it was you who said it or another wise individual that
Please let it be me.
no, well then let's just give it to you. I don't know, but I think that there is that proverbial expression that the better it gets, and the best is yet to come. Okay, well then I'm going to say it again so you can take notes. For us as adults and our listeners as human beings in the world, but today most notably to dedicate it to our children who are embarking on such a beautiful new chapter, and that the commencement of the graduation services should only launch them into better and better and better. But the expression is the better it gets, and the best is yet to come. So, I mean, I don't know how else to say it more directly than those truly are the heartfelt wishes that I have for all of the kids graduating. Yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely. And so the parents out there, we're with you. We feel it. We're feeling all the feelings with you, and pat yourself on the back. This is your milestone too. And let's be excited for them because there's a big world out there, and they will do some great things in it if given the opportunity. So
totally. I would say to the listeners, if you're still with us here, if you have questions, comments, concerns on this topic, and then as we dovetail down the road into taking a deeper dive into what happens next, please email us, comment in the comments on YouTube, Unpolished Therapy Podcast. Send us an email, unpolishedtherapy@gmail.com. Subscribe, let us know what your thoughts are. We will go through that, and then we will take note and talk about those questions, comments, concerns as Dr. Boca and I kind of move down these milestones and go down, or up, I should say, the totem pole of what comes next as our kids move on in different chapters. But we do want to hear from you. We get our inspiration from our listeners, and
absolutely.
We always want to kind of make sure that we are discussing the relevancy of our broad audience. So that's always important. We want to hear from you. Dr. Boca, what else am I missing? Facebook, Instagram, Unpolished Therapy. What's the one? TikTok.
YouTube? Oh, TikTok.
YouTube, Unpolished Therapy Podcast. And that's TikTok also, Unpolished Therapy Podcast. We, of course, always want to thank our sponsor, STG Concierge, Moving and Organizing, for helping us even bird launch our little baby here, right?
Yeah.
So we want to give a shout out to STG Concierge. But in the meantime, though, Dr. Boca, today we kicked the wheels right off the car, I guess. We spun the wheels upside down as it relates to graduation and prom, and you were wearing both hats, Mommy and Dr. Boca. So I thank you for that. And good luck with graduation. I can't wait to hear how it all goes. And I appreciate it. To the listeners out there, we thank you for hanging on board with us, watching, listening, et cetera, et cetera. And we'll see you next time on the corner of Audacity and Advice, when our wheels and yours get spun upside down. This has been Dr. Boca and myself, Rachel Silver-Cohen, another episode of Unpolished Therapy. Thanks for hanging out today, DB.
Thank you.
Great sesh, girls. Hey, everyone, like what you heard? Then don't miss out on what comes next. Subscribe now and please give the girls a 5-star rating. Learn more at www.unpolishedtherapy.com. Find and like them on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We'll see you next week when Rachel Silver-Cohen and Dr. Boca ditch the couch, grab the mic, and break down all the wreckage.